If you're running out of unemployment benefits per week, can you get PUA? And if you're getting PUA and UI, are you in big trouble? Hey everybody, this is LALATE. Hope you are good and safe. This is a second stimulus check update, our third of the day, and as always, it's about PUA and UI. Thanks for tuning in. Earlier today, we had two other second stimulus check updates. One about really exciting news concerning the date in which the second stimulus check debate and delivery of that check could be coming to you. Also, we detailed really great news from Steve Mnuchin, detailing extensively when and where a second stimulus package would help both employed and unemployed individuals. But now let's get to the current video, which details the real web of confusion about PUA, UI, PEUC, and everything else that has a strange acronym to it. Overnight, we detailed to you the extensiveness of the confusion. We had launched a video last night that talked about PUA and UI, and the header of that video was, if you got both of them, you could be breaking the law. Well, some viewers came into those comments and said, oh no, in our state you can get PUA and UI together. Well, can you, or is that viewer also breaking the law? Let's get right to it. The problem that's erupted is the following, so let me back up. And this is a slightly more complicated video, I admit, so I'm going to go slower. When every state before the pandemic had what was called, or still has, what's called unemployment benefits. That's UI. Far before COVID-19 existed, every state of this country has an unemployment benefits department. It pays UI, which also is an acronym for unemployment benefits, to people who are furloughed, laid off, have temporary displacement from jobs, who are W-2. These are people who work for an employer. They are people who receive a W-2, like a Macy's employer. Those unemployment benefits are paid to the state by the employer, if you don't know. This is very important. I'll get into this later, why this is so important. So when Macy's writes you a check every week as an employer, as employee, they pay payroll taxes to that state in which they're employing you. So when the pandemic rolled around, Congress actually got something very right very quickly. They understood two types of people who were being laid off. One, people who were employees, UIs, W-2s, and people who were self-employed, independent contractors, 1099s, people who are not UI people. And they understood there was a problem. They understood that independent contractors never ever can get UI benefits. As we sit here today, as I sit here and record this video for you today, an independent contractor can still not get unemployment benefits. Why? Because they are self-employed. The nature of unemployment benefits UI is for only an employer and an employee situation, a Macy's and an employee, a W-2. Now, it doesn't matter if you are self-employed and your business hires yourself. That's not how the law looks at it. It looks at whether you are employed by a corporation other than your own, and it's a W-2 situation or not. So when Congress saw this pandemic coming around in March, it understood that people who were self-employed were losing their jobs. It's understood they needed money, they needed assistance, and they also understood they couldn't go to the state for unemployment assistance, UI. So they created PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. The very first thing you need to know, and this is very important, so please pay attention, is that pandemic unemployment assistance is for people who do not qualify for UI. I'll repeat that again. PUA is for people who do not qualify for UI because they're self-employed, because they're independent contractors. At no time can you be getting pandemic unemployment assistance because you must be by law ineligible for UI. Now, let me give you a broad stroke before I get into the nuances. The broad stroke is the CARES Act. The nuances is the state. The CARES Act understood that it needed several types of relief, and I'm going to go through each of them, so stay with me, because it's both for employees and independent contractors. It understood we needed to deal with certain types of relief. So the CARES Act created PUA. It didn't exist until the CARES Act. It created PUA and said, we will give benefits to people who are self-employed. So that was the first thing. It also said that PUA is for people who otherwise were ineligible for unemployment assistance. That's the CARES Act language. The Department of Labor says it on their website. If you go to New York, New Jersey, Tennessee, North Carolina, state after state, Arizona, I'm going to get to in a second, it repeats the exact language. Do not come asking for pandemic unemployment assistance if you're eligible for UI. You cannot get PUA if you're eligible for UI. It's as simple as that. So you cannot get PUA if you're eligible for unemployment assistance. And that's why when this channel launched on April 25th and we were explaining to people how PUA was coming out, I think it was April 28th, 3 days later, we said, hey, you must first apply for UI and get a denial because you're an independent contractor. You must be ineligible for UI before you get PUA. You must apply for UI, get a denial before you apply for PUA. It's a requirement of states. And you must do that before you get to it. Well, in the last few days, some viewers, I guess, who have gone through the PUA and UI process more recently in May and June said, oh, no, you can apply for both. You can get both for the money. One has nothing to do with the other. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let's go through what you get, where you get it, and how you get it, and what are the different names and monies, because a lot of people are confused. Some people say the $600 is PUA, and that's the $600, and this is $600. It's very confusing. So let me slow it down for you. All right. So because of COVID-19, you have either lost your job or reduced the number of hours of work, and you're entitled to benefits. Okay. If you are an employee, you go to UI. If you're an independent contractor, you go to PUA. It's as simple as that. You can't be in the two places at the same time. Next. Under the federal government, under the CARES Act, this is a separate part of the CARES Act, it said we're going to give $600 per week for every week you're impacted by COVID-19 from the month of March to the month of July. The $600 is not called PUA. And a lot of people keep on saying that. The $600 is that PUA thing. It is not PUA. It's specifically not PUA. It's called FPUC. See, I couldn't even remember the name of it. It's called Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation, FPUC. The $600 created from the federal government per week is given to both UI and PUA people from the month of March to the month of July. So let's recap so far. UI, employee, employer, PUA, independent contractor. FPUC, the $600 per week from the month of March to the month of July, paid to UI and also paid to PUA, created by the CARES Act. What's important before I continue, let me stop for a second, is that I said July. Yeah, that's just around the corner. Yes. So what's happening to it? It's currently expiring. So if you did not watch our second stimulus check videos earlier today, please watch them because I talk about the importance of that to be extended because it's expiring in July. Now, let me explain a little bit more about these benefits and how they work before I go to the next thing. The way the CARES Act wrote it was the following, that PUA is a new instrument. It did not exist before this pandemic. It did not exist before its creation, the CARES Act. So who is to administer it? Congress had to decide on who would give the FPUA money, who would give the FPUC $600. So they ultimately decided states would do it. States would do it through their unemployment offices. Now, let me give you the backup on that. The backup is that they have never done PUA in their entire existence, these states. They've never seen this until March or April. They have never heard of it. They don't have computer systems set up for it. They just never had done this before. So a lot of states like Florida are a hot mess. They're starting to pay payments now after months of people waiting around. Some of these states just could not ramp up their computer systems fast enough because they've never done PUA. They've been doing unemployment their entire life. What's important about that is that a lot of you ask why I don't see this in the website, why I don't see this, because their systems weren't created for that before the pandemic. And suddenly the federal government threw this on them in the CARES Act and said, start giving people money. And the state said, hey, we're half shut down. We don't have computer programmers. We've never done this type of thing. Okay, so let me get to the amounts of money, which is always the big issue. So the way the monies work is exactly the same. And this is the only thing that's different, is how you enter. Most states have you enter at just base level benefits. Some states ask you to give a lot of a lot of financial data from your previous year before they even create your account. But generally, they get you in. And then what they say is, okay, you are now eligible. You have an eligibility period. And that eligibility period, and I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again because it's so important. The eligibility period goes from the date of which you list as impact forward. So if you applied for one of these instruments just this week and you put March 25th, well, it's going to say your eligibility window is March 25th forward, and it generally goes to December 31st. So when we sit here, and I sit here and we talk and we go over this, and I talk about, okay, retroactive benefits. What is he saying? What does he mean when he says retroactive benefits? It means from the date you applied. If you applied in May, retroactive means back to that first date that they have in the system, March 25th, up to the present. Now, some of you may have done things wrong and may have put the date as May, and so it shows as May. You're not getting retroactive benefits. How can you change it? Get them on the phone. They may not change it. Okay, so that's that. Let's get to the FPUC, the $600 from the federal government. So that is paid by the state unemployment offices. But you got to be in their system. So if you're a UI benefit, you're going to get $600 from the federal government March to July. If you follow the steps I'm about to explain in a second. If you're in PUA, you're going to get it as well. It's coming from the federal government, but it's being processed by the states. The states decide how to send it to you. Every state does it differently. As I've said before, your benefits, your UI or PUA benefits may be delivered by debit card, but this may come by paper check. It may not appear in the portal, so don't worry, you're going to get it. All right, so the other question I get a lot is how about when UI benefit weeks run out? And I get this question so much in the last 24 hours, so let me answer generally the questions I'm getting. First, people are asking me, okay, my UI benefits are running out. Can I now go and get that thing called PUA? Absolutely, categorically no. PUA requires you to be ineligible for UI. So it's not like you went to the salad bar and you ran out of UI. Now you can go get a salad at PUA. It's not. There's one for you and there's another one for that other person. PUA is for those independent contractors. You're not in. UI is for employees. A lot of people will say, well, how about I have a side gig that does this and I do that. No, you have to have been ineligible for UI to get PUA. So you can't suddenly go from ineligible to eligible or eligible to ineligible. You can't keep it. States don't do that. They just absolutely don't do that type of processing. So then the next question I get is, okay, I'm running out of benefit weeks for UI. What is going to happen under the CARES Act? Okay, so that is a totally different thing. Let me go over that. That is called, if I can, and I can't even remember the name. Oh my goodness. That is called PEUC. PEUC, Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation. PEUC provides 13 weeks of benefits to individuals who have exhausted regular UI and are not receiving any compensation under UI, are able and available to work, and are actively seeking work. DES is flexible and active seeking work, are unable to work due to COVID-19. So they do have an exception to that if you can't work because of COVID-19. So viewers are always asking, hey, my unemployment benefits are running out. what's going to happen? Well, the CARES Act also created just for you, when you're running out of UI benefits, an additional 13 weeks of benefits from the date of running out. Whatever if you run out this week, you're going to get 13 weeks after today, for PEUC. Now, viewers have always asked the question, what if I'm running out in July? What if I'm running out in June? Because I heard about that $600. It has nothing to do with $600. It has to do with when you're running out of UI benefits. So if you're running out of UI benefits in this year, bam, you're going to get the additional 13 weeks of benefits going forward. Now, remember what I just read. There's two ways in which you won't get the additional weeks of benefits. You are not available for work, and you're not actively seeking work. So understand those disqualifications, but those generally don't apply to viewers of this channel. Okay, so there you go. I hopefully have slowed it down. Now, there is more to it, and here goes the nuances. I'm putting pen to paper here. I'm going over all these things. So you're eligible for the $600 per week from the federal government, whether you're UI or PUA. And you're also eligible for the $600 per week if you're the following other things. See, no one goes over this nuances except me. So I'm going to go real slow. Okay, I already said UI and PUA get the $600 per week from the federal government March to July. But there's other types of people that get it as well. Those are these. Unemployment compensation for federal employees, UCFEs. Unemployment compensation for ex-servicemen, UCXs. Pandemic emergency unemployment compensation, PEUC. So the one I just said to you, if you need those extra 13 weeks, oh boy, let me slow this down because this is going to be very complicated. If your normal UI benefits ran out in April, let's say, your regular UI benefits ran out in your April, and you're like, well, how about that $600 from the federal government that goes March to July? Am I going to get it? Yes. The people who get that additional 13 weeks of UI under the CARES Act, the PEUC also get the $600 per week if they're, in the month of March to July. Extended benefits, EBs, get the $600 per week. Shared work, SWs, get the $600 per week. Trade readjustments allowance, TRAs, get the $600 per week. And disaster unemployment assistance, DUAs, get the $600 per week. And I get that question a lot. Do DUAs get the $600? Yes. So there you go. Next question I get a lot. You're like, how much information is it going to give me? Yeah, this is a lot of junk, I'm not going to say junk, but a lot of stuff here. People who get PUA, how many weeks can you get PUA? All right, so the most common misconception is that PUA stops in July. It does not stop in July. The $600 stops in July. $600 is not called PUA. $600 is called PEUC or I can't even remember the name. PEUC. That runs out in July. PUA does not run out in July. How many weeks of PUA do you have? So PUA provides 39 weeks of benefits to individuals qualifying who are able to work or available to work within the meaning, except those that are unemployed, partially employed due to COVID-19. Now, the 39 weeks, I'm going to cover my ass shortly, right there with the 39 weeks. The 39 weeks, that one I don't remember specifically. That one I'm reading off of Arizona. So the 39 weeks, I think is established by the CARES Act. I'm 99% positive. It may differ on a state level, but I don't know. But I'm 99% positive the 39 weeks for PUAs is from the CARES Act. Okay, so who gets PUA benefits? These are people who are self-employed, and have the following elements. And I've gone over this before, but let me go over it again because it's never always obvious to some people. These are individuals who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 or experiencing symptoms of COVID-19, or a member of the individual's household has been diagnosed with COVID-19. We forget about that a lot. If you're caring for someone in your household who has COVID-19, you can get PUA. They can get PUA, but you can get PUA as well. I mean, if you're both independent contractors. The individuals providing care for a family member or a member of the individual's household who has been diagnosed with COVID-19. There's a lot others, but I'm going to jump to the three that are most triggered by viewers of this channel. The individual had to quit his work as a result of COVID-19. The individual's place of employment is closed as a result of COVID-19's public health emergency. That's most commonly something like a shutdown order. A shutdown order has shut down your place of work. We all know what type of example that could be. Or that you've had to quit your job or you have reduced hours because of COVID-19. Now, in these wordings were established by the CARES Act. It is freely admitted that a lot of states have paraphrased the wording and added adjectives, removed adjectives to sometimes make it sound a little bit different. So with that, please be careful. Again, the PEUC, the 13 weeks of additional benefits for UI, that is for, as the set collapses on the O's, that is for the UI benefits. Now, what I detailed earlier this week is your state can extend UI benefits additionally. The additional 13 weeks on the federal government established by the CARES Act for UI benefits, that's from the federal government. The states can extend the benefits additional weeks as well, and they have, as we detailed in a recent video. So there you go. Let me answer some of your PUA questions before you just roll over with the pen and paper, because I know it is hideously complex. And if you have questions in today's video, drop them by 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, and I'll answer them in that video, because I know this is going to cause a lot of confusion. Hoover Londano, everybody gets both PUA and UI. No, they don't. They go to jail. Before I continue, so if you're a friend of Hoover Londano's and you got UI and PUA, what happens? Well, states will come after you and ask you to repay the money back. Don't think they won't. States have, it's their database. It's their database that you put your information in, you got paid, you double dip, you got payment twice. You cannot get UI and PUA benefits, and if you double dip, they are going to come back and ask for the money back. It's as simple as that. Sergio Hernandez, I believe there's exceptions depending on the state. Well, if you could show me exception in your state, I'd be happy to see it. A lot of viewers keep on saying that in their state, in their state, in their state. Every time they sent me a link, someone sent me North Carolina. I looked at it, it's like North Carolina. I said, right point blank, no, you can't. So tell me the state. In Texas, it's UI plus the PUA, it's the $600. No, the $600 is not PUA. PUA is not the $600. PUA is something else is the $600. I'm getting the full state benefits plus the $600 from the federal government. It's PUC and fully legal. No, the $600 is not PUA. PUA is not the $600. Oh my God. So yeah, what you're getting is legal, but you're not getting PUA. So here's the rub. Let me go over this again. So when you're on UI and you are impacted by COVID-19 from the month of March to the month of July, you're getting your state level benefits and $600. The $600 is not called PUA. So stop saying that you're getting PUA, because you're not. You're getting the PUEUC or whatever it's called. That is not the $600. $600 is not the PUA. Privy, there's a PUA and a TUA. There is a PUA and a TUA. One is for business, one is for, Robert Henson. The states can come after you for overpayment and demand immediate repayment. It's not what you want to do. Very well said. He said it exactly correct. So understand, let me recap again so far where we are. If you are UI and you're getting $600 from the federal government, the $600 is not called PUA. You're doing everything right. No need to worry from watching this video. If you are in your state and you actually are getting state level benefits twice, so you're getting $139 per week and you're getting $139 per week and you're getting $600 per week and you're getting $600 a week, you're getting PUA and UI, you have violated the law. So viewers sometimes think that they're getting the $600, that's a PUA. That's not PUA. It's, you know what it's like? It's like someone that's taking credit for something that's not theirs. Somehow PUA got the reputation that it's the $600. PUA is not the $600. So hopefully this is clarifying it for viewers. Prim Tyson. Well, in California, when you sign up, they decide whether you qualify for, but that you can, but they tell you clearly how much you'll get. Well said. Sean Scott for PUA. I know the unemployment uses 2019 for your base taxes. Brand in California is called disaster unemployment assistance. You get that as well as PUA if you're not normally eligible for regular employment. The EDD provides benefits for disasters, and look it up. It's called DUA. It's not called regular UI. Every state can call it something different. Ultimately, you want to make sure you're not double dipping. Nestor Camacho. Most likely they're confusing UI, PUA, and FPUC. They are. Thank you, Nestor. On the ball. UI is state unemployment. PUA is pandemic unemployment. FPUC is the $600. Yes, thank you. See, I'm halfway through and I'm forgetting the name of this $600. It's FPUC. Repeat it after me. FPUC. That's the $600. FPUA is not the $600. Straight to the point. My PUA says under review, no. Unresolved issues, yes. So you need to fix it. That's a problem. James Gordon. They're irate because they're not getting to steal more money. Marina. Need help for the PUA. Requesting the weeks. I do not put the places. We'll look up for the jobs because they're asking. Okay, so that's a great question. For PUA, every state will say, did you look for a job this week? Did you look around for, I'm looking for, did you look for a job? You don't have to look for a job for PUA. And ironically, the portals will often give you a page and say, hey, did you look for a job? Click the next button. You know, like you're on a date and you're like, next. You're like, goodbye, next. Click the next button. It'll literally send you to the next page. You won't have to answer the question for PUA. Walter Stillwagon. Maybe they claimed UI in a state and worked in another state. No, the viewer was getting it in the same state. Gidget Red. I'm getting 240 plus 600, so that's 840. My understanding is, I read it as it's the minimum and the 600, but they're giving us 840. So no, you're doing everything right. So states enter you the base level benefits per week. And then the $600 is on top of that from the federal government. That's if you certify for every week impacted by you from the month of March to the month of July. Marina, the PUA weekly certifications is very weird if you're self-employed. Yes, and I've gone over that a lot, but I'll go over it again here, right here. When you do PUA, remember you are not employed. I don't want to hear, they don't want to hear, not me. They don't want to hear that you're employed by your own company, that your own company pays you, that you have an LLC, that you have an incorporation. No, they don't consider that employment when you're doing PUA. So answer the questions in that mindset. Otherwise, boy, you're going to get tripped up badly. Kim, I think some states just identify the minimum PUA as UI. No, they don't. Amanita, they shouldn't be this hard to follow the law. You know what should be better is they should have damn come up with some names that don't sound the same. The host is sitting here and I'm holding the page because I can't even remember FPUC and PEUC. I mean, it's just so similar. Why can't you come up with a different name? It's like it's like Javita with her words advance. The EIDL advance that comes after the loan. It's not an advance that comes after the loan. It's just come up with easier words. Chevelle, you cannot have applications pending in both programs. Those folks are in an imaginary state of BS. I love that, Chevelle. Victor, Roel, you're such an entertainer. Robert Henson, you have to be denied for UI to get PUA. Very well said. Marina, does the $600 PUA come by paper check in the mail? Great question. So the $600 comes differently sometimes. Sometimes if your state is a debit card state, it'll come by the paper check. Sometimes if your state is a direct deposit, it'll come by a paper check. Sometimes they come together. Sometimes they come different. It's just a hot mess. It shows that they just are not used to sending $600 or that it's being routed from another department. Dino, I live in Florida. My unemployment will run out in July. When it does run out, will I get the $600 check to the end of July? Yes, so that's a great question. So FPUC, if the host is remembering the acronym right, gives you an additional 13 weeks of UI after you run out. And if you run out during the CARES Act window, that March to July, you will get the additional $600 per week. You just have to certify for benefits that week. Absolutely. Nancy, you're amazing answering these questions. I think what they mean is besides the $600, they're getting the minimum amount of level benefits. Yes, I think what's happened was a lot of viewers yesterday thought the $600 is PUA. It's not PUA. It's not PUA. The great news is that, hey, if you're a UI person and you have not gotten the PUA, the $600, you need to get on top of your estate because you're entitled to $600. Paul, I live in Florida. I applied for end of March, $113 for 12 weeks. Now I'm receiving $113 plus $600 without even applying for PUA because you don't have to, because the $600 is not PUA. The $600 is FPUC. There we go. Hopefully this channel is making some headway. As we did in our earlier stimulus check video, Florida is now starting to pay people, and they're paying them 10 weeks. And you know what 10 weeks is at $750 a week? $8,000. Mostly good stuff. California will determine you're first eligible for regular ED for UI. If you're not, then you qualify for PUA. Thank you. Very well said. Jeanette, it says on the website, to get UI, you're not going to get, if you get UI, you can't get PUA. Thank you. Thank you. Robert S., the CARES Act created FPUC. FPUC is March 29th to July 25th. That's from what the Oregon's website is. Oregon's absolutely correct. And you're exactly correct, Rob. Ricardo, great job. Thank you. What about Michigan? Same thing, Brian. This is Alana in Washington. As long as your pandemic, the PUA automatically gets added to your regular UI. It does not. FPUC, the $600 added on your UI, not PUA. PUA is not the $600. It's like somehow PUA walked into a party and had a big shirt on and says, "I'm the $600," and everyone thinks PUA is the $600. PUA is not the $600. Oh, here's another person who wrote a wonderfully long comment. I'm not going to read it, but he got it right as well. Leslie, I was told you cannot file for PUA in Ohio, but have to apply for UI extended benefits. I applied twice for UI and was told that since my account is so messed up, I have to wait for more weeks. So if you are UI and you're eligible and you need additional weeks, you get FPUC, if I'm remembering the acronym right, an additional 13 weeks from the federal government. Then the states can add additional weeks on top of that. In North Carolina, not new. In North Carolina, you can get both UI and PUA. In fact, folks who are eligible for UI don't have to apply for PUA separately, as both PUA and funds are dispersed simultaneously. Hope this helps. It does not help because it's totally it's totally unlawful. It's totally illegal. I went to North Carolina's website after I saw this comment, and it specifically says you cannot get PUA if you are getting UI. To get PUA, you must be ineligible for UI in the state of North Carolina. So if you know, or you're a viewer in this channel who is in North Carolina and got UI and PUA, you have broken the law, and they're going to ask you to repay the money. It's as simple as that. Remember, PUA is not the $600. PUA is not the $600. Robert Henson, the comment that, hey, the website doesn't work, so I can go in there and get a lot of money. Oh boy. Tell that to the judge. Oh my Lord. Cressy, damn, that Uber and Lyft drivers is causing the problems. Oh my God, this is a very long comment about an Uber and Lyft driver, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Straight to the point. My PUA summary says under review, no. Unresolved, yes is yes. So there you go. If you have questions to today's video, which I know you do, drop them in the comments below. Remember, UI, PUA, $600 is something else, and then you're fine. But if you got UI and PUA, and you got two sets of $600, boy, and you're an Uber and Lyft driver, you know what I'm gonna say? Drive yourself to jail.